The Bravo draft is complete. The Charlie Dynasty draft begins on Monday. And the redraft league is 1/3 full. All this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast sponsored by Football Darts and Fantasy Sports Alliance. How is everybody tonight? Chris is saying Delta 2020 already. No, man, Delta 2021. Josh is on with us, Athena's on with us, MJ's on with us, Damian Gratz is on with us, and I have to say Damian Gratz because we have two Damians in the league this year. How crazy is that? You guys spell it different, but still, you're both Damians. Hey, first we'd like to thank our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. If you haven't got a chance to go out and look at their social media today, especially on Instagram, they posted a commercial today pushing their products. So let me tell you a little bit more about Football Darts. Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. Unlike the traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgates, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, please go to footballdarts.com. Who else came on since then? MJ says, nice shirt. Chris says, love the intro, by the way. Chris, you act like this is the first time you've ever come in here. You've come in here before. You know what the intro looks like. Louis says, Dwayne Haskins is still trash. My Bravo League knows. So, hey, Jenna's on with us. Hey, Jenna, how are you? Really? That's the first time you've seen the intro? Man, why have you not been watching the show? What is wrong with you? Damian Scott out there, the other Damian on with us tonight. Bravo in the house, definitely. Did you all see how crazy Sammy Watkins is? Josh, please tell us what's going on with Sammy Watkins, because I have not heard. And yeah, Louis says Dwayne Haskins is trash. There was an awesome picture that was posted in the Bravo GroupMe chat room the other day of Dwayne Haskins. I'm not sure who the graphic artist was that did it, but it definitely made Dwayne Haskins look super awesome, even though we all do know that he is trash, but the graphic made him look really, really good. Chris says, I'm usually working, so usually only listening. Oh, well, that's why you miss it. Well, you know what? All of these shows are on Facebook and YouTube for you to go back out and watch. And that intro was on every single one of them. You should go back and watch the collection for this year. Definitely. Crazy good or crazy crazy? Jenna, I'm good. I hope you are well. Tell Taylor I said hello and that I love him. Josh, please tell us. I'm dying to know what's going on with Sammy Watkins. And I'm going to pause until you tell us what's going on with Sammy Watkins until I get to the next part of the show. So we're all waiting on you. Waiting. Hey, we got 18 people on right now. That's pretty awesome. And why am I on this screen? This is not the screen I should be on. We should be back on this screen. I have no buttons for you all tonight. None. We're just going to have a talking head, other than the couple of minutes that you saw there with the buttons. Just talking head tonight. We have no agenda for the night. We're just off the cuff tonight. He's crazy. There is an article on Bleacher Report. You guys should read it. It details all the troubles he has had, and he thinks he is an alien. If you can copy and paste the link for that article on here tonight, that would be awesome. If you can go out and find it, do that, please. He thinks he's an alien. Man, I can't wait to read that. Please post it out here for everybody to see. That would be awesome. And since we're talking about Josh Hughes, and he is a member of the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast, let's talk about them for a second. They say an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. Listen to our partners, Josh, Eric, and Brad, talk fantasy football on their podcast, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. They are your one-stop shop for fantasy football information and news. These guys talk rankings and projections with a whole lot of comedy. The good thing about not having any sports right now is, first off, how excited I was to get on the camera tonight with you all, because, man, we are starving for some sports. But because everybody else is starving for sports as well, this week's show on the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast was awesome. And I only say that for selfish reasons because the show titled this week called Super Flexing Bravo Edition. The guys talked a whole lot about the FSA Bravo draft and how that went. And we are benefiting a lot from the lack of sports on their broadcast right now. I can't say thank you enough to those guys. They are just killing it right now, and we appreciate being a big topic of what's going on their podcast right now. If you have not listened to this week's podcast and you are part of the Bravo group for our dynasty, you need to go over and listen to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I don't want to say anything more about the broadcast. I can just tell you that it was awesome. Go give these guys a listen. Wherever you normally listen to your regular podcast of anything else you listen to, go out and search them, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. Like them, download them, follow them, and after you do all of that, make sure you go follow them on all of their social media. You can find them at Empty Wagon FF, and you can find them on Twitter, Instagram, and Josh, wherever else you tell us right now that you might be on, because that's where I follow you all at. Let's see what I missed while I was up here. MJ says she's eating her Reese's Blizzard and enjoying this. I wish I was having a Reese's Blizzard right now. That is my favorite Blizzard. Where are our new Charlie members at? We'll see if any of them pop up here in a bit. I did put out in the whole group tonight to everybody that we would be live, so they might show up here in a few. We are going to talk about a little bit of Charlie stuff here in a few minutes. Josh says we are hitting great numbers for downloads, and that is because of Brian and you all. No, man, it's because of you. If we didn't have you to talk about on this show for us to push people your way, it wouldn't even be possible. So it's all because of you and all the great work that you and Brad and Eric are doing, man. It's awesome. Damien says, if you're not listening to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Podcast, you're doing fantasy wrong. I totally agree. And you know what I love about the guys and listening to them is they don't always agree on everything. You know, you could go through a podcast and they'd be like, yeah, we all agree on that, you know, because we want to be the same. They don't even agree when they're on the same show with each other. They give their perspectives, and they all have great fantasy football minds, and that's what I love about listening to them. Even better is whenever I'm listening to them and, you know, they ask a question inside the studio or something like that, and I answer, and what I'm thinking is the same thing that the majority of them are thinking in the room, and that makes me think, man, maybe I'm on the right, you know, path or whatever with what I'm thinking, because these great minds are thinking the same thing. Rugby starts soon in Australia and New Zealand. It's slowly coming back. Man, I can't wait for sports to come back, and I would absolutely love to go to Australia and New Zealand as a vacation sometimes. Completely off topic, don't care. But Australia and New Zealand would love to go. I had a chance to go to Perth, I think back in 2009, 2010 timeframe. Totally missed out on being able to do that, but still on my bucket list of places to go visit. Mary says that MJ says that her Empty Wagon Fantasy Football podcast is her morning weekly podcast. So I finally got myself into a battle rhythm. I wake up on Monday morning. I go out first to make sure that the podcast is out there. And I cue that thing up and I start listening to it while I'm cooking and eating breakfast on Mondays. Get in my car, put my Bluetooth on, listen to them on the way into work. And then if there's still some time left over when I park into my parking spot, I listen to them. If not, I put them back on the Bluetooth on the way home. Usually Monday I get the program done. If not, I listen to it on Tuesday. That has become my normal battle rhythm. I will forever, no matter where we're at in the world, listen to these guys on Monday and Tuesday. Damien says he enjoyed listening to the Bravo draft recap. I'm glad to hear that. Brian, you need to move your camera a little, missing the Seahawks. You know what? It is just out of reach too, Chris. And I can't really do that because the camera doesn't really churn. It just slides. And I think if I slide it, you're going to actually lose it. But it is really, where are we at? There's the Lions. So Rams, yeah, man, you're just barely missing. It's right there on the end. It's the very next team. Sorry for you, though. I want to head that way too. Would love to go to rugby season, hopefully in a few years. Hey, maybe we'll be able to. We have the opportunity to meet at your home, but what would be even greater if we met in Australia or New Zealand instead? That would be an awesome trip. Yes, Josh, I'm glad you brought that. Josh just brought up, said, did you see the new Rams jerseys? I did. I'm not impressed. Also not impressed with the logo that they did. I feel like they, if they spent money on the logo that they came up with for their new brand, they whatever they paid for it was too much. And I know that sounds rude to say, especially for a professional football team, but it's horrible. It's ugly. There are plenty of websites that are out there that are doing this stuff that you can go out and grab for a couple of bucks that looks better than what their brand is. And the uniforms basically just reflect of how bad that logo is, in my opinion. Great, you got the new color scheme on there, and that's about it. I feel like that we took a step back. I really thought, and a lot of people will make fun of me for saying this, but when Denver and Tampa Bay changed their brands, I really thought it looked a lot like the NFL Europe or the World League, and I thought it was progressive in what they looked like. I feel like what just came out from the LA Rams was a huge step back all the way to probably the 70s. Great, we got some new colors because we got new technology in and we're able to do that stuff, but as far as the look of the uniform, very 1970s in my opinion. Don't like it at all. Do they look like Best Buy employees? You know, that's so funny because you remember when the AAF came out and everybody was making fun of the San Diego Fleet and how they looked like Buffalo Wild Wings servers with the way their jerseys look like. And I hadn't even thought about Best Buy employees until you said that. Absolutely, you're right. It does look a lot like Best Buy. And now that you say that, the color scheme, I will never be able to look at the LA Rams until they change their stuff again and not think Best Buy. You're absolutely right. Keep the Seahawks and the Rams ones out of sight. Well, I'm going to sit here and there's the Rams. But as we're talking about the Rams, you know, the last good brand that they had, I really did like that gold and blue look together. I didn't have a problem with that whatsoever. I thought it was good. Hey, if you like the show tonight, we got 22 people out there right now. It could be the most live people we've had maybe ever. If you like the show tonight, please like it here on Facebook. And then go over and share it as well. And then go over to YouTube and like our YouTube channel over there, Fantasy Sports Alliance. Go look it up. The only reason I say you have to search for Fantasy Sports Alliance because we don't have our own YouTube channel handle yet because we don't have enough people following us over there yet. We need 100 people following us over there, and right now we've got 44. We've got at the moment just counting butts to seats and not really counting how many people were crossover. We've now got 36 people in Bravo, and we've got 32 people in the redraft. And if math serves me right, that's 68 people. We should have at least that many people over on the YouTube channel. Go over and like the YouTube channel, please. Ross is on with us. Ross, how are you? Relegation League. Chris is asking about that. Man, I don't know if I brought anything up to you about a relegation league. Did I? I don't think we talked about that. And Mary on with us as well. Hi, Mary. How are you? And not the MJ Mary. Other Mary. Yeah, Chris. Shh. But Ross is on right now, so super shh. Hey, if you got... I know, Ross, let us know why you're here right now. Do you have any openings for, I know NCFF I think is closed right now, right? But what about the FCS side of the house? Are you accepting any members over there right now? I know that we've got some activity on the NCFF side of the house where people are starting, especially Michigan, is starting to drop players a lot. I want to know if you have any openings because I'll push it here on the show tonight. Let's see if anybody would be interested in going over and playing. And for all of you that don't know, Ross runs this amazing league called NCFF. I think this is my third year playing with you, Ross. Maybe fourth, I don't know. But the premise behind the league is amazing. And I don't want to give too much of it away here because what I really want you to do is go out and do your own research on the NCFF or click on any links that Ross might provide for us right here tonight if he's still out there. But he runs an amazing league. We have it all filled for 2020. Man, you're filled. So how many teams does that give you between the NCFF and FCS this year? I'm just curious what you guys are running on both sides now. If you get a chance to put this in your database to remember for 2021, if Ross, on the FCS or NCFF side have any spots open, you have to go over and check out his league, because the concept is awesome. I've had a lot of fun playing it over the last couple years. I've really brought the identity of Rutgers Scarlet Knights under me. I really, really like it. 27 people live, man, that's crazy. Who does that? Like, who has 27 people live to talk about some BS fantasy football stuff? Jeez, this is awesome. Hey, in case you didn't hear, the NFL news released, or NFL news, we're going to talk about NFL news. NFL released their 2020 schedule Thursday night. You got 166 teams this year. That is amazing. I bow to you. That is great. How is the management team getting along with that many people? I'd love to know. So anyways, they released their schedule on Thursday. I tried to go out and watch the schedule release. Come to find out, when we killed our entertainment package here at the house, I lost the NFL channel. All I have is ESPN, and I didn't really want to watch the ESPN's version of the coverage of it, so I didn't really watch a whole lot of the NFL schedule release. What I can tell you is they will open up the season on 10 September, which is Thursday. It will be the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs playing at home against Houston Texans. And you know, normally I like to wear the hat of the team who I think is going to win Thursday night football when I do the show on Wednesday. And granted, I realize we are 4 months away from the season start, but I'm still putting it out there right now that Kansas City wins opening night against the Houston Texans, and that's why I've got the hat on tonight. So go Kansas City, Super Bowl champs. Membership count, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we are at 32 members in the redraft league right now, which is 1/3 of the league. We had made a kind of a pact or a deal inside our chat room that we were going to roll over the 2019 redraft site to 2020 once we reached the third of the league, which is 32 people. So just this week, we rolled over the redraft league over to 2020. I have expanded the number of teams on that from 80 to 96 to bring in our new members, and I have started slowly bringing them onto the league. I've been kind of a little bit focused on the Charlie League right now, that the redraft will take precedence after we get the draft started on Charlie next week. But for those of you who have still not signed up for the 2020 redraft, especially if you're a legacy member, go out and do that right now. If you still don't know how to do it, go to www.fsa-fr.com. That's going to roll you over to the new 2020 MFL website. If you are on the website, in the upper right-hand portion of the website, you're going to see an image that says Join Today. Click on that image. That's going to walk you through the new process where you fill out the form and stuff like that. There will not be an invoice sent out to you this year. We listened to you in the off season. You wanted to find a better way to get membership. This is how we're doing it. If you are on mobile and you go to www.fsa-fr.com, scroll a little bit. The way the MFL sets the columns up on it, it takes the right-hand column of the webpage and puts it underneath. You have to scroll a little bit to get to it, but you're still looking for the same blue image that says Join Today. Click on it, and it'll take you through the form and go through the whole process. So if you're a part of the normal redraft, you're a legacy member, make sure you go out and sign up. Let's see where we're at with Dynasty. We know Dynasty draft is complete. We started putting the draft analysis up on Alpha's website, and we got through the first and the second round. Got a little busy with the Charlie League stuff. I will be spending tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday before and after the draft selection show for Charlie to get the draft analysis up for Alpha. And then after Alpha is done, I will be putting Bravo up as well. If you're on the website for Alpha or Bravo, right after it says email draft, there is a button that says draft analysis. Click on that and you'll be able to go in and see the draft analysis for those two regions. And I want to thank everybody who had input on both of those draft analysis. Thank you very much for doing that for us. Athena says, nice shirt. This shirt plays into a lot here in just a few. He will have one in FCS for next year, Rhode Island. Randy, are you backing out? Is that your team is Rhode Island? It was so nice to sign up this year. Josh, I appreciate that. Yeah, you sending out the invoices was a little bit of a struggle and a strain for ourselves and for you all to be able to do that. to make that happen that way. So we were able to get with my good friend Christian, who runs College Preparatory Invitational. He runs an equestrian program, and he uses Jot Forms to be able to bring his members in for each one of their events that they do. And he said he would give us the service space for us to be able to do that for us this year. So and he also hosts all of the nice banners that we've got in Alpha Bravo Charlie right now with the player and the jersey and all of that look and the city skyline and stuff like that. He's hosting all of those images for us as well. So thank you very much to Christian for all of that. Thank you, Ross, for posting that. That is the NCFF League. If you want to know more about it, please go out and look at that. Chris says, I'm happy to do Charlie's first 5 rounds to throw my name into that. Chris, I think Charlie would very, very much appreciate that if you did. I know I would be very appreciative of it. So if you get through the first 5 rounds, that would be awesome. We are also doing the first 5 rounds, I think, for Alpha right now. I don't know how far Charlie got into it. I won't know until I go back to look at the messages to be able to get them in how many rounds we're going to go. But we're going to go as far as the rounds of the people who decided to drop their names in a hat and volunteer to do those draft analysis for us. So I'm very much appreciative. So we'll go as many rounds as they want as they did for us. Next year he's trying to have no double crossover. That's smart, Randy. Okay, good. And Ross, that's very, very smart. It's a very nice way to be able to build it up to. What'd you say you had? Let me scroll back up here a little bit further. You said you had, man, why is the math? There you go, 80 and 86, so 166 unique people in the league next year. That'd be super awesome. So yeah, very smart. Bravo is going to go 5 as well. There are a few more that were done, but we kind of stopped at 5. Okay, so Alpha and Bravo League for your draft analysis, you're going to stop at 5 rounds, and then we'll do the same thing for Charlie. There's no reason why we should, do one league more than the other. So let's go 5 rounds for Charlie. For whoever wants to volunteer for it, please and thank you. Since we're talking about Charlie Draft so much, let's talk about the draft selection show first. That's going to happen this Saturday, at 3 o'clock East Coast time. Same thing we did for Alpha and Bravo. Let's hope that it's more like Alpha than it was with Bravo, with less technical difficulties than we had with Bravo. But that will happen at 3 o'clock p.m. East Coast time this Saturday. And then Charlie will start doing their email draft on Monday. Now, it took 7 days and a couple of hours for Alpha to get done. Bravo, I think you guys were done on day 6. You have to let me know. And then we'll see how long Charlie takes. But they will be on the same clock as the other 2 leagues as Alpha and Bravo. 6 hours, email, be the same type of thing. And we've mentioned the redraft quite a few times already in this show. We are at 1/3 filled, 32 teams, which means we're trying to go after 96 teams this year. The NFL draft is already over. We are going to do the draft selection shows for the redraft leagues on 1 August. We are going to close out membership on 31 July. So if you are not signed up by then, you will not get in for the 2020 season. And that's like, 10 weeks away if my math is right? 4 weeks in July, 4 weeks in June. We got 2 more left in May. So you are 10 weeks away from not being a member of the 2020 season, our biggest season yet. Doing redraft and Dynasty for the first time. New sponsors on board. You got to get in this year. Please, please, please join up. All right, so something I wanted to let you all know that are out there. If you are playing in our Dynasty League, if you're playing in our Redraft League, and especially if you're playing in both leagues, if you don't have a way of saving the website that you go to on a regular for your particular league, whether it's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Redraft, and you're always going to, and remember, www.fsa-fr.com, I have created a League Links button on the website, and here's how you get to that. The menu bar that's all the way at across the top of the page, whether that is on the website or the first menu bar that you see on your mobile device that has the plus sign on it, either on the horizontal menu or on the plus side, what you're going to do is you're going to find links. And once you get on links, you're going to look for league links. And once you mouse over league links, you're going to see a multitude, lots of things show up. If you're on the redraft site, you're going to see Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie Dynasty League sites show up. You're going to see links to all of our social media, and you're going to see links to 1998 season. That is the oldest season that we can get on MFL right now because it will not allow us to go all the way back to 1995, but we are working with their developers to allow us to go back that far. If you were on any of the Dynasty sites and you go to the same thing, leaks, and then league links, you're going to see links to the other two dynasties. So if you're on Alpha, you're going to see Bravo Charlie, and you're going to see a link that says FSA 2020. That's going to take you back to the redraft page. If you're on Bravo, you're going to see Alpha and Charlie in FSA 2020. If you're on Charlie, you can see Alpha Bravo, FSA 2020. That's so you can navigate around to all of the different sites. And that's in case you don't bookmark or save it on your phone or your computer. You can always remember www.fsa-fr.com will get you to any of the sites that you might be a part of. So just want to give you that little bit of nugget of information there. If you are going out and looking at the redraft site that we've rolled over to 2020, you're going to see the rules button that's on there. Click on the rules. What you're going to see is the 2019 rules still on there. Since we just recently rolled it over, I still have to take a little bit of time to get the 2020 rules up there, which have already been completed with the help of Cheryl and MJ when they were here for Super Bowl weekend. They helped us get through that. It's more of a copy and paste than anything to get it up there. I just got to take a moment and a time to get it up there. So if you do go out and look at it and you see the 2019 rules, there are going to be very few changes made to it anyways. There's going to be a little bit of a lineup change for 2020, especially since we're going to 12 teams per region. And there's going to be a little bit of a scoring change. If you're already in the dynasty leagues, the lineups that are being used there, plus a kicker and a defense, is basically what the redraft league is going to use. But the scoring system that is being used over in the dynasty is exactly the same scoring system that we're going to use in the redraft league this year, which means tight end premium. So tight ends are going to get 1 point per reception instead of a half a point. And we are doing the half a point per first down for rushing and receiving, not for passing. So those are the new rules that are going up there soon. Ross says, go schedule your NCFF opponents. I think the only one that I'm probably going to schedule is going to be my normal rival against Randy. And I think Randy and I always play in week 4, if he's still out there. And then the other 3, I'll be honest with you, Ross, I'm still trying to figure out the scheduling thing. I do understand that if I schedule against people that are like lower, that it might help out my chances of getting into a bowl game. But I don't know everybody in the league like you do, so I'm still trying to feel that out. But the one person I do know that I like playing against every year is Randy. I think Randy and I are 1-1 over the last 2 years that we've played, so I definitely want to schedule him for week 4 again this year. So that would be Rutgers versus Illinois, so you can take that one to the bank if you want. Yes, Chris, we are doing kickers and defenses over in the redraft, which I'm pretty sure. Did you sign up for the redraft? I can't remember. I don't have my membership list in front of me or not, so I think you're in, but I'm not real sure. Hey, that's pretty much the end of the formal portion of the show for tonight. I'm going to go through some things that you're used to hearing every single week anyways. Already kind of heard them a little bit on the show tonight. Don't forget we got a YouTube channel. Even though we're recording the show live tonight, and you can watch the replay of it here on Facebook, you'll be able to see the replay of it over on YouTube as well in a couple of days. After we get done with the draft selection shows on 1 August for the redraft league, those will be going in both locations on Facebook and YouTube. But after that week, we will only be showing the replays on YouTube. So if you're not here live watching it on Facebook, you're going to have to go over to YouTube. And to make sure that you're already locked in to the YouTube channel, go over and subscribe. Google, go to YouTube and search Fantasy Sports Alliance and make sure that you subscribe to the channel over there. Like I said, we've got 44 people over there right now. We need 100 people to get a custom YouTube channel name, and that also will allow us to start doing live videos over there as well once we reach 100. And then we can get completely off of Facebook. For those members of ours that do not have Facebook, they will be able to go over in YouTube because everybody can get to YouTube. So that will actually help us quite a bit. So go over there. If you're already not a part of our GroupMe social media. Make sure you go over and first download the app, GroupMe, on your mobile device, and then let us know when you've got it downloaded, and then we will bring you into all of the groups. All the Dynasty rooms are filled already. We've got 40-ish people, I think, on the big redraft league, and with us having 96 people this year, that room should get full as well. So if you haven't already downloaded the GroupMe app, go over and do that, please, and then we will get you in there as well. Let's see, kickers and defense. I think you're saying stop wasting time whenever we're talking about the kickers and defenses. That's all right. I'm pretty sure, Damian Scott, you are in the redraft league this year as the mad scientist, so you will, in fact, be playing with kickers and defense this year. So not really a waste of time. Let's see, we talked about YouTube. Let's talk about our next broadcast. So we were here tonight. We said that we weren't going to be here unless we filled Charlie. We filled Charlie. Thank you to the last two members that ended up coming on board for us, which ended up being Hunter Garth and, who was our last one other than that? Edward Wright from our redraft league. Edward was our runner-up in the big league 2 years ago when we hit 56 teams, I think it was. So those were our last two. Both of them signed up for the redraft in the Dynasty. So thank you to those two for coming on board. That's what caused the broadcast tonight. Don't forget, we will be live again on Saturday at 3 p.m. East Coast time doing the draft selection show. And then we will be back live for our regular broadcast next Wednesday on the 20th. So we'll be right back here. We're all starving for sports, so I hope you'll be back here as well. You got to replace the Chiefs hat with a Charger one. Zach, because I haven't seen you on here in a really, really long time, and because I can so quickly get to the hats, and only because you requested it, there is your LA Chargers hat. How about that? Oh, he's telling you not to waste time to get into. Stop wasting. Oh, so you can get into the. Yeah, you haven't signed up for redraft yet, Chris. Hey, we didn't change the Outlaws colors to the 1863 Ramblers colors for nothing. So if the 1863 Ramblers don't get in there, I'll be disappointed. You got to bring them back in this year, man. Hey, so thank you to all of our sponsors. Finger Lake Mercantile, Nature Coast Tailgating, Southern Siren Sugar Scrub. For those of you that ordered stuff from her for Mother's Day, thank you very much for doing that. Football Darts, make sure you go out and watch their commercial on Instagram tonight. Deep South Creations are always putting out new products. Make sure you go out and look at their Instagram and their Facebook, Deep South Creations. And of course, we would like to thank the Recasts, which are the official music of the FSA, and we have to give a special shout out tonight, and the reason that I'm wearing the Recast shirt tonight is their front man, Mondo Gutierrez. It is his birthday today. I don't even know how old he is. Old. He's old today. So if you get a chance to wish him a happy birthday here, or go out to his personal page, that would be awesome if you all did that, and tell him happy birthday. Today is his birthday. So happy birthday, Mondo. Hope you are out doing something fun for it, which is why you're not on the broadcast tonight. But thank you to the Recast, the official music of FSA. I may be in, not so sure, on the Ramblers. Oh, are we thinking about changing it again? You're going to have to let me know, man. Thank you again for watching the Fanatically Real broadcast, sponsored by Football Darts and Fantasy Sports Alliance. If you like the show tonight, make sure you like it here, share us out on your Facebook page, go over to subscribe to us over on YouTube. It'll look something like that when you're over there. And we will see you on Saturday for the Charlie League draft selection show. And then we will be back here next Wednesday on the 20th. You all have a great night. Make sure you message me and let me know how the show looked tonight. And glad to be here. And we'll see you all again next Wednesday.